5 years and over $40 million. That is apparently what it takes to grind a game's prestigious reputation into dust. A game so heartlessly pushed out the door in an attempt to cash in on its brand that it brought it down into the great trademark graveyard alongside Kmart and Adam Sandler. So many bugs that it would be mistaken for a cockroach infestation, horrific graphical glitches, and this thing that is this century's answer to Jar Jar Binks. 4 months of fruitless patching later, the explosion is finally settling and a dud of a game is in our wake. Such a brutal disaster this was, that the series has been put on indefinite hiatus and the developer has been sent to the gaming gulag. What killed this beast? A few things. First was the developer itself. EA chose to farm this franchise out to BioWare Montreal, a developer that didn't work on the original trilogy. With an overly long 5-year time frame, it's usually the case that things go horrifically wrong. They did. If this Glassdoor review is correct, they apparently lost 13 leads at Montreal alone over the course of development. As a result, the majority of the people replacing them were incredibly inexperienced in developing games. Case in point, a $40 million investment, and we end up getting a game where everyone looks gumbified and outright awkward to look at. And that's not even getting into the unsightly narratives that a lot of people up top had. This guy was a game designer at BioWare Montreal during development. He obviously isn't going to try and push some kind of agenda in the game with his hatred of white people. Speaking of narratives, as a series that heavily focuses on writing, most of the writing sucks. It's very ham-fisted and forced in a lot of instances. The game is far too focused on being about diversity and that icky, unique snowflake mentality that it shoves it right down your throat. The problem is, there really isn't much meat on the bones. What this game fails to realize is that great stories transcend our physical differences. Look at GTA San Andreas, the works of Chinua Achebe, or Slumdog Millionaire. Nobody gives a shit about the skin color or genders because they are great and captivating stories. Mass Effect Andromeda chose to rewrite the wheel and focus on the 78 or whatever the fuck number of genders they have and being all-inclusive. As a result, we get shit like this.
But now I've bested you, Morta, and Clan Knackmore will pay with blood.
You put the colony at risk over a grudge you carried across dark space? You really aren't worth killing, Jorgal Strux. Get out.
When you think it can't get any worse, you realize that this character is supposed to be female. Finally, the part where everyone can agree on. The game was rushed out the door. You may ask how a game with a 5-year development window could be rushed. That issue is thanks to the instability of BioWare Montreal and EA's insistence on making profit on their product. I mean, the game wasn't that rushed. It was actually playable for all of 5 minutes out of the box. Maybe it was saving us from all of the terrible writing and boring gameplay. Maybe EA saw the potential for us to laugh at it and the incompetence of it all. It's just another reason why I'm completely jaded with gaming nowadays. Everything is hype to oblivion, and then rush it out the door by working the poor bastards programming it to burnout. The crunch period results in buggy, unplayable code, and has to be relegated to a black hole of patching. Whatever happened to games being playable out of the box? Why does everything have to look like a soulless, half-assed diversity checklist instead of an organic, captivating story, regardless of skin color and gender? I look forward to the inevitable gaming crash. Let it fucking burn.
Wait! This is brutality! You can't do it!
Wrong, Jarek. This is not a brutality. This is a fatality.